There's a reason that you are who you are. It's time for you to start listening to the calling of your heart. There's an answer that only you will know, a vision only you can hold. The world needs you to be bold. Let your light shine like a star. The world needs exactly who you are. You are what the world needs. You're the answer to somebody's pleas. Are you ready to fulfill your destiny? You are what the world needs. There's a moment, an instant you decide you're gonna live your life according to that voice inside. Seize that moment, even though you don't know how. You've got to live your life out loud. The time to start is now. Let your light shine through the dark. The world needs exactly who you are. You are what the world needs. You're the answer to somebody's pleas. Are you ready to fulfill your destiny? You are what the world needs. You are what the world needs. You're the answer to somebody's pleas. Are you ready to fulfill your destiny? You are what the world needs.
We're all in this together. We're all in this together. Yeah, we're all in this together. We're all in this together.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so happy you're joining us on this nice chilly Philly day here at the Inspiration Cafe. I'm Maxine Kaye, and I'm delighted to be the spiritual leader of this beloved community, the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living. And we're so glad that you decided to join us today, no matter where you may be in the world and wherever you may have found yourself on your spiritual journey, because we're all on a path. Wherever that is for you, you're so welcome right here, and we trust that this hour that you spend with us will be illuminating, will help you feel how loved you are, how supported we all are by the divine presence, which is within and all around all of us. We here in this beloved community have many beautiful spiritual tools that we use for many different human conditions. Affirmative prayer is the main one, of course, and some of you are quite familiar with that. And we teach the principles of science of mind, and we support each other as we go through our different experiences and challenges and joys of life. That's what a beloved community is about. And so we're happy that you're here with us today, and we hope you just keep coming back. We have a wonderful mission, and it is one that was designed by the Centers for Spiritual Living many, many years ago. And some of you know that I was in the room when that happened. There were 200 ministers in Whitefish, Montana, and we had been working for days to come up with what this mission was to be. And ultimately, this room got quiet. Can you imagine 200 ministers, suddenly the room got quiet after one person ultimately spoke the entire phrase that we'd been working on, pieces of it here and there, and it all came together. And this is how it goes. We are here to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. Isn't that beautiful? And isn't it true that within every human being there is that authentic self? It is the presence of the divine itself. And we are awakening to it, and we're helping each other become aware of it. And we also have a vision statement, and that is that we are all in the process of co-creating a world that works for everyone. A world that works for all, we like to say, because we include all sentient beings and the planet itself and all of the flora and the fauna. We have a vision, we have a mission. We know that we have the ability to be able to lift our perspective so that we can see more truly. And it is in this true sight that we are making a difference in our world. So thanks again for being with us today. Oh, we also have a wonderful, empowering statement that came out of our Board of Trustees a number of years ago, and we still like it a lot. Will you say it with me if you wish to? Living, loving, learning, spirituality that works. Now we have an opening song by Sue Riley, and it is called Do What I Can Do.
Look around, what do I see? Good or bad, it's up to me. My world reflects what I believe. Here's what I believe. I know there's good in everyone. I know the best is yet to come. Look out, world, 'cause I'm not done. I've only just begun to love like crazy, shine like gold. Be courageous, break the mold. Can't do it all, but this much is true. I can do what I can do. I'll choose compassion over fear. release my love into the atmosphere, like a single wave in an endless sea. Any change begins with me. Gonna love like crazy, shine like gold, be courageous, break the mold. Can't do it all, but this much is true. I can do what I can do. When I feel I'm all alone, I remember one drop of water smooths a stone. Gonna love like crazy, shine like gold, be courageous, break the mold. Can't do it all, but this much is true. I can do what I can do. Do what I can do. I can do what I can do.
Some people think that we lose an hour at this time, but I have a friend in California who just told me the other day, because of all of the amazing weather that they've had there, tremendous rainstorms and mudslides, and she said, I'm not thinking of it as having lost an hour. She said, I'm thinking of it as one less hour for the mud to be sliding behind my house. And I thought that was a good attitude. So whatever time it is for you, good morning to you. And it's close to St. Patrick's Day. That's coming up later this week. And, you know, I was thinking about how there are stories about all the wonderful things that St. Patrick did for Ireland. And one of those stories is that he chased all the snakes out of Ireland. Not so. No, that was just to make him appear to be a great hero. Well, you know, you don't have to chase snakes out. They have a reason to be, and they can live where they want to live, and it's okay. He didn't do that. That's what we call a myth that was just made up. But there's a story behind it, and people just wanted everyone to know what a great guy he was. But that's not what he did. But you know, we can be heroes without doing magical things. It might feel magical, but what it really is getting very clear about who we are, which is beautiful expressions of God's life, and then looking around and seeing that all the people in our lives are also expressions of God's life. And then we can work together to do amazing things. And that can feel like magic. We can change our own thoughts, feelings, and environment, and ultimately change the world too. It isn't magic, but it does sometimes feel like it, doesn't it? Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Now let's have meditation, shall we? Let's come together in this beloved sense of unity with all life. And begin to breathe in deeply that precious life divine. Let it flow through our bodies and our thoughts and our feelings and bring calmness and aliveness, peace and power. Let that sacred breath just circulate within our entire consciousness until we feel ourselves free of any false idea or negative emotion, anything that doesn't belong to us, never did. Let's let that holy breath continue simply to move through us and bring us to a place of harmony, a place of deep connection to our source. What is our source? It is God. It is love. It is truth. It is peace, wisdom, life divine. And so as we come into the center of the center of the center of our hearts, we realize that this is where God abides in fullness. And there is no separation. And in this sweet, sweet unity, we allow ourselves to feel a loving, compassionate connection with all sentient beings and with the earth itself. There's no separation. There is unity in diversity, and we thrive on this beautiful life force that moves through us all, that connects us deeply on a soul level. And here we rest and we perceive the authentic self within every other sentient being, the authentic self that you are, that I am, that we all are. And we invite it to come forward and to live our best life through us, the life divine, allowing the divine within us to have a wonderful time by expressing itself through us. This is why we're here, to be the divine, shining, radiant instruments of the life divine, aware of our unity with all, working together for greater good. Let's just be silent for a moment within our own hearts and allow ourselves to feel that divine presence and our beautiful connection with all life. And this sweet, sweet life continues to flow through our bodies, our emotions, and our minds. And we are in perfect peace, illumination, and power. Oh, we're so grateful that all is well.
God, help me to empty my mind of every earthly distraction, so that I may only worship you. God, help me to empty my heart of every false separation, so that I may only worship you. You are my mind, you are my heart, you are my life's only reason. So I let go of all the false gods that I've known. It's you I believe in. God, help me to empty my life of every human illusion, so that I may only worship you. You are my mind, you are my heart, you are my life's only reason. Let me let go of all the false gods that I've known. It's you I believe in. God, help me to fill up my soul with ever deeper devotion, so that I may only worship you, so that I may only worship you.
Oh, thank you, Daniel. And now we have a wonderful treat in that we will have an opening treatment by our beloved practitioner of the day, Georgiana Gord.
Thank you, Dr. Maxine, and good morning, everybody. You know, I love the two opening songs and the phrases that you are what the world needs, and the other one was we are all in this together. And then this reminds me of the statement that I recently read from Dr. Maxine that says enthusiasm and positivity are contagious. So why not be in the world together with enthusiasm and positivity together? And I'm reminded of this wonderful book. It's called Hardwiring Happiness, and it's by Rick Hansen. And he's also the author of Buddha's Brain, if anybody is familiar with that. And there's a chapter in here, and I just have one point from it. It just says, taking it in. So imagine to take in enthusiasm and positivity that is contagious. All right. And Rick says, it's natural to take in the good or take in the positivity. We all know its essence. Have a positive experience and then really enjoy it. But as any other skill, you can get better at it through learning and practice. And what a better way than to be together on Sunday mornings, with the Center for Spiritual Living in Paoli, Pennsylvania, as we can join to get and enjoy the enthusiasm and positivity of the love of God. So please join me as I state this opening treatment, and I'll do it in the first person, and please join me as you choose. Right? I know that there's such a magnificence that is right where I am. It's the magnificence of God. The God presence that is the essence, the power of life, of love. That's the co-creation of all, is all, as all, and is in all. And it's right here where I am. It lives through and by means of me, and it does this with the gentleness of the peace and joy and harmony and wisdom and beauty and truth and so much more. And in this, I am so grateful for this opportunity to collaborate, to collect our thoughts, to co-create together right during the service today, knowing that the positivity and the enthusiasm and the contagion is all in the momentum of the God presence, that the God presence is behind all of this, and that each and every one of us have this opportunity to live in this positivity. So I am so grateful to see this positivity just explode today and explore through and by means of our music, Dr. Maxine, and all of the individuals that participated in today, seen and unseen, because this contagion is absolutely the truth that sets us free. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God, for this opportunity to connect and to love through and by means of me. I know this to be the truth. It is released, it is acted upon, and done. And so it is.
Georgie. You know, if you look up positivity and enthusiasm in the dictionary, there's a picture of Georgie right there. Thank you so much. What a beautiful way to start. Will you join me in saying the affirmation? I work joyously in tandem with all in my life who are committed to move forward in creating a world that works for all. That's what we are doing. We are creating a world that works for all. And we do it by joining together, being in tandem. Yes, we are building a new consciousness, and that new consciousness begins by the one we're building within ourselves, and it reaches out, and it becomes a beautiful, beautiful expression of contagion. That's what she said. Because it catches on. When we are standing in our truth, when we are building our own greater consciousness with enthusiasm, we can't help but encourage others. And encouragement is the theme of the month of March. We are being encouraged from within. And we are encouraging others just very naturally because that's the way that it works. So today we're talking about, we can do this thing. Say it with me. We can do this thing. All right, how do we do anything? We don't do anything until we realize that we can be what we need to be in order for the actions to take place. So it is our being, it is our becoming that ultimately allow us to do the things that we are here to do that make a difference in our world. Each and every one of us is here on a mission, very much on purpose. We are here very much to be the instruments, the radiant, clear, shining instruments through which the voice of God is manifest in the world. And that's everybody. It's not just the preachers. All of us are here very much on purpose. And entheos means in God. It's a beautiful Greek term, in God. You know what? You and I can never be outside of the presence of God. Do you ever feel that way? Well, there can be this divine disconnect, but it never is real. It's our perception of it. We allow things in our world to sort of press in on us. And do you know that you're either expressing life, or there's a possibility that you're allowing all of those things to move in on you and you feel a depression. Now, do you want to express or do you want to be depressed? You know, it's not a hard thing to figure out, but it's not always an easy thing to do. Because, you know, there is all of that stuff out there in the world, the false beliefs, the divisiveness, the wars, the terrible man's inhumanity to man, and all of the things that are unjust and not fair, and we don't want them, and yet, gosh darn, there they still are. But they came to pass. I know it's been a long time, and I know that it took a long time for us to move through the most challenging parts of the pandemic. And here we are, ready to allow God to express through us more fully. And so, you know, it was not Gandhi who said, I don't know who really said it, but I think we ought to keep saying it to be the change that you want to see in the world. But I found out he didn't say that exact statement. But what he said was very much like that. But I'm not going to tell you, because you're going to hear it from the mouth of Reverend Mike next week, the actual statement that he made. So tune in. No, don't just tune in unless you're somewhere else in the world. Be there, because next week we're going to be meeting in person at Interprod, and it's good. You'll be hearing more about that, but I'm excited about it. I need for you to know that you can be there while Reverend Mike delivers his wonderful talk, and you'll know more about what Gandhi really said, okay? But still, you and I are here to be the change, to be the change that we wish to see. You see, when a group of people like us maintain a high level of consciousness, remain open to the changes we need to make personally in order to connect on a deeper level with Spirit and on a truer level with the people in our lives, maintain that high vision as our leaders do in this community, then others are inspired to come along. We encourage each other. We are encouraged from spirit within. Courage, core of the heart. Of the heart. Remember what Nehemiah said. I am doing a great work and I cannot come down. And you know what was happening at the time? We talked about that last week, I believe, where he had gone back to rebuild the city of Jerusalem. And he knew that the people who were outside the gate saying, come on down, Nehemiah, he knew it wasn't for coffee or tea. He understood that they were a danger to him and his crew. And he said, I'm doing a great work. I will not come down. That's what you and I need to remember when we begin to get caught up, or I should say caught down, with some of the negativity in the world and the naysayers. I have a high vision. You have a high vision. We have a high vision together. We're doing a great work and we cannot come down. It is very inspirational to me. And remember what Margaret Mead said. She said, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Well, it's not going to change the world immediately. That's not how a small group works. A small group changes themselves individually. They change themselves as a group. And then they get things started. And then we get inspired and encouraged by seeing what they're doing. And we want to come along. You know, it's almost St. Patrick's Day. You know, come along. We want to join the band. You know? And so then it becomes a greater light in the community. Everything becomes possible. We become possibilitarians. Would you like to become a possibilitarian? Everything becomes possible when enlightened beings, you and I, and so many others, wholeheartedly set intentions with faith and with joy. You know, I like what John Lennon said. I like a lot of the music too, but this is something he wrote. There are two basic motivating forces, fear and love. When we're afraid, we pull back from life. When we are in love, we open to all that life has to offer with passion, excitement, and acceptance. We need to learn to love ourselves first in all our glory and our imperfections. If we cannot love ourselves, we cannot fully open to our ability to love others or our potential to create. Evolution and all hope for a better world rest in the fearlessness and open-hearted vision of people who embrace life. Now, McNamara is the leader of that band. And it's time for us to join in and encourage people to come along with us. We can do this. We can do this thing. And we can do it because of what we are becoming. What we are becoming is really aware of who we already are, that great, beautiful being that was created perfectly and for a very specific purpose, to bring more life into life. This is holy work that we're doing. It is holy work. And since it is a sacred enterprise, it is never tiring. It is always uplifting. And this requires the givingness of the smaller self to the greater self that we truly are, our authentic self. It's egoless, this work. Yes, we do have an ego, I hear. And it's important. It's important for us to master, just as the baby has to master the use of its body. We have to master our physical, our emotional, and our mental natures so that we become that beautiful persona through which spirit can shine and make a difference. But our ego needs to become transparent so that spirit can shine through it and do its good work. So we're not a group of people who think you need to get rid of the ego. We simply need to master it and let the master within us express through it. That's important. We need an honest desire that is for the greatest good of all. That's the place to which we are moving. You know, the Phillies, they're ready to roll, aren't they? And we're excited about that. But do you know that not one of those players can win a game alone? Not Aaron Nola, not Zach Wheeler, not JT, I never know how to say his name, Real Multo, or Garrett Stubbs. Neither the pitchers nor the catchers, and not one baseman, not one outfielder. The whole team is essential. Let's look to the Phillies to remind us that we must connect with each other, share a vision, and have the courage to move toward it, and have fun while we're doing it. I would like to think that every sports team has a good time while they're playing. I know they're serious about it. I know they want to win. But you and I want everyone to win. And everyone wins when we allow Spirit to do the work through us. It begins with me. It begins with me. And when I recognize that, I find that I can move into the purification of the material and allow Spirit to shine more brightly. When I do my internal work, the entire group benefits from it, and it expands the group consciousness. I've been reading and studying and practicing a wonderful book by Sean Wainwright, and it's called The Four Pivots. And I love the idea of the pivot because it doesn't feel as though I have to do everything at once. I take one small pivot and then another pivot in this direction. And the next thing I know, I am moving toward the vision that I am embodying. Very much like the sailboat that tacks. It doesn't go straight. We used to sail from Redondo Beach to Catalina, 26 miles away. There's a song about that. 26 miles, Santa Catalina is waiting for me. And when we would sail, we just didn't go straight from Redondo Beach to Catalina. We would tack this way, depending on the sail, depending on the current, and we tacked that way until we ultimately reached our destination. We counted on the currents, we counted on the wind, and we counted on our ability to do what needed to be done to get there. So one of the first pivots that I want to talk about just for a moment is called mirror work. It's moving from lens to mirror. Now, the lens is our particular small, sometimes closed perspective on how we see life, how we see our lives, how we see other people. And it's our worldview through which we view everything. And we have many lenses, and there are billions of lenses of billions of people all over this world. But we're just dealing with our own in order to clean up our side of the street so that we can engage authentically and beautifully with others. So this mirror work, you see, the lens defines how we see something before we ever see it. We already have prejudged. What kind of a word do you get from prejudging? Oh, prejudice, perhaps. That's where it comes from. We already have an idea about how something in our life is going to turn out, or how somebody who is there or there is who they are before we ever get to know them. And so this has to do sometimes with hidden beliefs, and it's attained from our history and from our socialization. And many of these lenses are incorrect. Most of them are. They may be correct to some degree, You know, we need to weigh and measure things, and scientists do that, and that's important. We look through a lens. We look through a microscope. I'd rather look through a telescope, you know. But we have a lens, and we see what we think it is, and in most of the time, it may be partially true, but it is never seeing in wholeness. We're missing a lot by seeing through our lens instead of something greater than that, because that, you know, seeing through a lens typically puts responsibility on something or someone out there, and that's how we create othering and making people other. The divisiveness, you know, is still going on in the world. We can make a difference by coming back to our unity, coming back to our truth, coming back to seeing differently. And so, you know, an example of that might be, those people can't be trusted. Well, when we do mirror work, which is what Dr. Wainwright suggests, we're moving into reflection and doing inner inquiry. We take responsibility for the future that we wish to create and know that we can create by ceasing to see the world through the lens and doing the reflection work. We're curious enough to ask ourselves questions. We're committed to see through the eye of love right here. And so an example of that might be, well, where did this idea come from within me? And we might ask, am I trustworthy? Rather than looking through a lens that says, I'm not sure I can trust them. If that's coming up for me, perhaps it would make sense for me to ask gently and authentically, am I trustworthy? And then, do I want to perceive a greater truth? So, not in parts or division, but in wholeness. I want to drop divisiveness and embrace oneness. Don't we all want to do that? Drop the divisiveness, embrace the unity. So we kindly and powerfully support each other in this work. You remember the 4 agreements. Who could forget the 4 agreements? Oh, we do. Let's remember them right now. And those 4 agreements are to be impeccable with my word, not to take things personally, not to make assumptions, and always to do my best. That helps. What I realized recently was, if we feel as though somebody has misspoken or criticized us in some way, let's not take that personally. And what I came to be aware of is that I want to shift any sense of insult to insight. When I'm willing to look deeply within my heart, like, what does that person or those people really need? How can I become curious enough to understand another lens, another point of view, and then come together in a greater awareness of wholeness and connectivity, from insult to insight? I have for years loved the phrase and use it as often as I remember to do it, to seek first to understand. Seek first to understand. And it makes a huge difference, even with dealing with customer service on the telephone. And sometimes that's the perfect place to do it. Keeps your blood pressure down. It helps people help you. And again, as I shared not long ago, let's become curious rather than critical. Curious. I wonder what that really means to them. I wonder what prompted a person to say or do something like that. I wonder what the need really may be, the unfulfilled need. I wonder how I can connect on a deeper level with that person or those people. We can do this thing. And why is it that we can do this thing? What is the thing? Anyway, the thing is to move beyond boundaries and divisiveness and fault and blame and so forth into creating a beloved community. And yes, I mean our Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living. And I mean much more than that. Because as we do our own inner work, gain our own insights, deepen our love for Spirit and feeling the love of Spirit and letting that move out and embrace the people in our world. As we do that individually, our community becomes more beloved. And then it reaches out further into the world because we want our entire planet to become the beloved community. So how do we do that? By realizing that first we need to be, do. Be, do, be, do, be, do. But we start with the I amness. We start with remembering who we are, the presence of God manifesting in this world. And then what we are guided to do. Our divine activities are powerful and they make a difference because they're not coming from ego. They're not coming from the human only. Human's fun, it's great, but we are divine and we must uplift our consciousness of who we truly are. And then what we are guided to do truly does make a difference. My personal work comes first, and then our willingness to engage with our beloved community and engaged with others as well. We're forming and we are maintaining a new vision of possibility. So let's become those possibilitarians. And if you want to be encouraged to become one, look up Georgie in the dictionary. There she is. Let us generate a contagion of enthusiasm. Be the change. I'm doing a great work, and I cannot come down. Say that with me. I am doing a great work, and I cannot come down. And so, my beloveds, beginneth our lesson. Thank you, beloveds. Now it's time for us to share our good with this beloved center. It is always my great, great joy to do so, because I know that this community is the closest, for me, the closest to my spiritual food. And I like to return to my source what is so freely given to me at all times. And there is an affirmation, a spiritual prosperity celebration affirmation right up there on your screen. Would you share it with me? I choose to celebrate prosperity. Divine love blesses my gift. It is my acceptance of God as the source of my abundant supply. With joy and gratitude, I share my abundance with this center. In doing so, I am one with the law of circulation. My tithe goes forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless. It returns to me multiplied abundantly, and I am prospered, and so it is.
These times are troubling me, so much I can hardly see through the walls keeping us apart. You got your views and I got mine, but we're together in this moment in time. Hope you can hear me with your heart. I'm not trying to push you away, but I've got something I've got to say. I stand for love, I stand for peace, I stand for humanity and the good of all. I stand for hope, I stand for faith, I stand for freedom and the good of all. I stand, I stand, I stand. Would you stand with me? I stand, I stand, I stand. Could you stand with me? When we don't understand, we turn away instead of learning that there could be another way. Can we agree to disagree? We may never see things eye to eye, but we can hold on to the love between you and I. It's the only way we'll survive. And I'm not trying to push you away, but I got something I've got to say. I stand for love, I stand for peace, I stand for humanity and the good of all. I stand for hope, I stand for faith, I stand for freedom and the good of all. I stand, I stand, I stand. Would you stand with me? I stand, I stand, I stand. Oh, could you stand with me? Now I stand, woo, I stand, I stand. Would you stand with me? I stand, I stand, I stand, oh, I stand. Could you stand with me? I stand for love, I stand for peace, I stand for equality. And stand with me. I stand for truth, I stand, oh, for kindness, I stand for freedom. Could you stand with me? I stand for hope, I stand for justice, I stand for faith. Would you stand with me? I stand for life, I stand for love, I stand for compassion. Could you stand with me? Could you stand with me? Could you stand with me?
Good morning. My name is Bonet. I'm a member of your Board of Trustees. Thank you. Thank you. I always love that jazzy intro, so thank you for that. Dr. Maxine, thank you so much for your talk today. Um, be the change you wish to see in the world. I actually have a bumper sticker of that because I have to remind myself of that as I'm driving. So, yes. In our commitment to provide more opportunities to connect with like-minded new thought folks, we are very excited to announce a new monthly in-person gathering called Nibbles and New Thought. So we invite you to join our very first gathering on Monday, March the 20th at 6:30 p.m. at Brick and Brew on King Street in Malvern, PA. I've actually signed up, so I'm hoping to see all of you there as well. It is important that you make your reservation, so please jump on our homepage and click on the link to sign up. Another new monthly event is an outdoor full moon ceremony generously hosted by the Smethers at their home in Malvern on Friday, April 7th at 7 p.m. If you'd like to check it out, mark your calendar and we'll have signups for the next week. Um, I'm also signed up for that, so I hope to see you there as well. Movie nights, labyrinth walks, celebrations in the park, and more are in the works. So yay for that. It's not too late to sign up for Cheryl Mackin's 7-week Good Grief Support Group in person starting this Wednesday, March 15th from 7 to 8:30 in Paoli, PA. The group will explore grief as a gateway to transformation. And as you know, life is a continuous series of beginnings and endings. Grief is a normal response to loss, and the grief process can be a path to powerful transformations. It is important to honor and fully embrace both endings and new beginnings. This group is open to anyone who would like to share a healing experience with others in relation to losses he or she has experienced. If you'd like to join any of our classes or workshops, just go to our website, www.cslphilly.org, and click on the link on the pop-up screen and on the home page to our events calendar. And let's see. Our next in-person celebration will be held in Eagleville next Sunday, March 19th at 10:30 a.m. with live music from Jim Wade. Yay! In addition, we invite you to arrive at 10 a.m. for our morning meditation time. And if you're watching us and enjoy our Sunday celebrations and love notes on our Facebook or YouTube channel, please be sure to like, to subscribe, and to share with others. When you subscribe, you will receive notices anytime our videos are uploaded. And that is it for today's announcements. Have a great week. Take care.
Thank you, Monet. You make it fun. We do have a lot of exciting things happening, don't we? Okay, so now we're going to have our closing song today. Haven't we had some wonderful songs today? This one is by Mark Shepard, and it is called Together We Can Change the World. What a concept.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe it's not too late. Together we can change the world. Lay the puzzle pieces out. Find out what
change the world.
Today it was a delight having you. Come and be with us in person next week in Eagleville and Interprod, and you'll hear this minister right here getting you excited, okay? And Jim Wade too. It's going to be a wonderful day. We love you. We love you. We love you. And so we go forth with the understanding that we are the ones we've been waiting for, and that Spirit within us is moving us forward with joy and ease and great satisfaction for the world that is indeed ready to work for all. And so it is.